Okay, good morning, everybody, and good evening and good afternoon. Again, I'm Kazuyoshi Hisano speaking from Japan, and thank you, Ed and Lisa, for organizing this. And we are going to do the second day of the consecutive session. And some of you were not here last week, and I'm happy to see you again. And also, those who are not able to be here today, but you have a chance to see the video, so probably those will be watching this afterwards. And so today we are going directly into the workshop and discussion, but of course some people are rejoining, so I'm going to show something, the background or a kind of entire kind of structure of this before we dive into that. And also we relatively have more time than last week to spend on the discussion. And some Japanese people, again, I'm talking so from Japan, this is a challenge, part of their challenge to join, but it's hard for them to speak out, so they are kind of naming themselves listening only. So please accept those people sitting in the breakout room and kind of showing the smile and nodding, but not speaking out. So please accept that. So, but that is part of their challenge, and that is part of their goal vision. And also, when I do the breakout, I will be kind of going around, but I'm not kind of in the discussion. I'm just there to listen to or see browsing. And also, there is one staff joining, so he may be kind of going around just to kind of see is there any problem or not. And today's main topic, I should have started from the kind of a slide which is showing the entire agenda. So maybe I'm going to come back to this one. And today we relatively have more sentences on the screen. And I'm sure that you will kind of a little bit struggle with all of the words or sentences, but you will receive the document later on, and also you will have a video. So please bear with that, and don't try to kind of jot down everything, but we have plenty of time to discuss so that you can at least acquire something and you can see things later on. The reason there are a lot of sentences is because it's hard to kind of express those things just in the image. And today's main topic is about, on the screen you see on the bottom side, August 4th, the secret to gaining support from other people, which means that I've been constantly talking that we need to get support from other people, and that is going to be the secret key, which is known but not necessarily known to the full extent. And the number one, and of course doing some recap, but most of the part will be spent on the involvement, how to involve people, and also the core theory, which is kind of talking about your inner reason, what you are doing for. And also last week we couldn't cover the full. I have covered 80%, but autonomy, I would like to spend a little bit time to talk about that so that we can remember what we are talking about. But I'm not going to start with autonomy and going to, sorry, I made shown the different slide. Okay. This is not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show this one. Okay, involvement. So like you see on the screen, you see the birds flying, right? And everybody knows that these birds fly so long distance, so long duration, crossing the seas, and they cannot fly alone. They need to form a team, and that is programmed in their DNA. Right. So it's like this. We are also sort of, I would say, we are programmed to work together. And that will enable us to make a difference and do something differently. And the entire structure, I'm just trying to show where we are. So I have shown this last week. And so we have seen this one. And so we have gone through the imagination, goal theory. Part of that is the imagination and confidence. And today we are going to spend some time on the involvement. And the next one is the cause theory, which is written on the third. Okay. And again, I'm breaking this into three. In the goal theory, we're broken into three, and on top of imagination, which means the goal setting and also the self-efficacy, there sits the involvement, which is the skill and capability to gain support from other people. And so this is the kind of popular one which we have seen, but we are seeing this from a different angle today. But remember this goal, and there, this is the situation that you have something on the goal side, but you're still here, and you're going back and forth. So in your imagination, you have something that you want to achieve, make it real, and but the reality is there. And what we want to create is on the right side or goal side that's vividly shown, and rather than where you are. Where you are is a reality that you are living, but you feel that this is not like me. It should be like me, and this is not like me. So this is what we're trying to create. And therefore, what is important is to set the goal properly and increase the sense of goal world. So we are kind of easily speaking of the comfort zone. Comfort zone. What is your comfort zone made of? But I'm going back to the previous one. So this white circle shows the comfort zone where we are living in, where we can relax, and what we are thinking that is our ordinary life. But we haven't discussed much about how that is formed. I haven't discussed how that is created. The main topic of that is what we're going to what I'm going to show in next slide. So actually, comfort zone is made of important things. What do you mean by that? So look around you. Maybe I asked you last week. You are sitting somewhere, and if you look around, most of you are in your house or office. If you look around, you should see many things that belongs to you. Right? Those are the things that builds your life. I know some of them you don't need. Maybe you want kind of thinking about throwing them away, but still, most of them are the important things for you. So if you are there are many things on the slides, many things around you. And on total, that will form your comfort zone. Right? I have 13 figures on this. I don't know whether that is kind of a beautifully designed. Look at the color, and I don't know, that is has a cover unity. I don't know. But that's the reality. That's where you are, and those are the things that is forming your comfort zone. So when I speak, or when you use the word comfort zone in this context, even we easily say comfort zone. So comfort zone is something that we feel as part of us, of course, that forms us. But at the same time, that is a kind of a cumulative kind of aspect of your life and what is important to you. So now you're getting this because you know this figure, which means that if you have an arrow on the goal side, you have a different comfort zone, which means you have different things, right? Different things will form your comfort zone. Yeah. I think this is very important. And what are those important things? What are those important things? So think about this. So you are living in a comfort zone, you're surrounded by many things, and I want you to go into some short discussion, and at the same time I'm trying to create. So I would like you to jot down, again, I would appreciate if you have a paper and a pen and jot down what's around you on the CZ1, and on the right upper side, what's the desired things that should be around you. So if you could kind of draw the similar chart and write a circle and jot down things, and you'll see that what you want to be in your life, maybe some of them out of your life, right? So let's take some time so that you can work on and think about what are those important things in the previous or current life and on the right side. Okay, so I would like to break this in. So something you have wrote down and talk about your current CZ1 and the CZ2, what's are in there. And after breaking this, I may need to make some adjustments. So please accept that to kind of look at the balance, because some Japanese people have a difficulty in speaking, but I'm going to break that in. And we'll spend 3-4 minutes talking about what's are on your both side. And this is just an opening, so please start it. Okay, thank you everybody. So I know it's short, and I thought today we relatively have longer time, but time flies quickly. And so I appreciate that you have discussed about your comfort zone to a certain extent, but maybe it was just about the self-introduction. You didn't have enough time to talk about that. I understand, but I'm going to jump into the conclusion. What are those important things? Those important things, of course, there are a lot of things around you. You have a pen, you have a watch, you have your glasses, you wear clothes, you have a house, you have friends, families, everything are forming your comfort zone. But if I highlight one very important thing, powerful thing, it's about this. Your comfort zone is made by the people around you. Of course, the items, tools, goods are important, but of course, who you care, who you work with, are the critical thing. I think most of you will agree with this. Therefore, I'm coming back to the original slide. Look at this. If you want to make a change to your comfort zone, which means that you will get close to your goal, which means that you achieve your goal, you will need to understand. Eventually, the comfort zone is changing, which means that the people around you has changed. Right? And I don't say that you will need to kind of leave the people where you feel important or where you care now. But if you step back and look at the reality, when you have moved to a different comfort zone, which means that you have a kind of succeeded to a certain extent, went to some direction. That means that at that point, the people around you have changed, at least to some extent, right? And part of that happens, and part of that, if we can, intentionally makes that happen, which means that we go toward the goal side, start meeting the people. It's going to make a change. And to explain that, or kind of structure that, the way we can develop our capability, I created the 7 steps and 7 powers. Actually, 7 steps was behind the 7 power. I was only presenting 7 powers in my previous books. But I came up that, okay, 7 powers are of course easy to understand, but behind that, I thought about that. It's kind of helpful to explain the steps. And I think this is easily understandable. So I've already talked. I'm going to show 7 steps, and I told you that I have a lot of sentences, not only this slide, for several sentences. So appreciate that you understand that. But step 1 is to meet appropriate people. Now we know that in the comfort zone, there are different people that you need to meet, associate with. And you will need to be accepted in that comfort zone. Yes. But it's not just a kind of about your job. If you want to start some new hobby, think about something that you have been thinking but you couldn't start. Think about something that you wanted to do but you couldn't start. Like, I don't actually do this, but if I start thinking about surf, I actually have not done that, but I will need to meet those people who are doing that. And I should kind of walk into the community. It could be just walking to the beach, but I definitely need some kind of preparation, right? And I need to be accepted. I don't know whether the people will not kind of say no, but at least I need to be accepted in that new comfort zone. And of course, now it's a little bit shifting to the business side. So I'm not quite sure whether I need to gain trust to surf in the beach. But if we step into the academic or business or something, we definitely need to gain trust. That's a new world. You may have built something in the previous or current world, but you will definitely need to start building something on that side, right? And number 4 is a game changer. Once they accept you, they will start introducing you to her friend in that community. You understand? It starts with one person. You will kind of have a connection with this person. And then after that, you build a connection and trust with this person. And then you step in, you start becoming part of that, but you only have a connection with this person. But now she starts introducing you to the other people. You really get part of that. This is the first half of the 4. And then after that, it's about, this whole thing is about you're shifting your comfort zone, which means achieving your goal. So you'll need to communicate your goal, dream. You need to start speaking about it. I wanna do this. So we don't start from this, suddenly meeting a new person, a big guy. You talk about your dream, suddenly maybe he will kind of politely listen to. And there are some success stories that you talk, kind of a young kid talking kind of about his dream and he be accepted suddenly. But that is kind of a rare thing, exceptional case. Like us, you grown-up adults, you suddenly speaking about dream. Yeah, it may have some influence, but there are proper steps usually. And then once you get kind of accept it and you start being part of that new world, then you can open up your desire. And then they will start thinking about, okay, I heard about that. What should I do? Should I support him, her? And then the idea is this. You want to gain his, her support, but you don't persuade him. You don't push him. Push your idea. Don't push. No, it's not gonna work. Yeah, I know it sometimes work, but 90%, 90% of that, they don't like to be pushed. Like, you don't want to be sold things. You want to buy something. This is a huge difference. You want to buy something on your own decision. You don't want to sold something on their decision. Right? But we tend to push, or you tend to be pushed, and we just don't like it. Number 6 is another game changer. You will help them make their decision on their own. There are steps. You can break that step 6 in several, but I'm not going to do this today. But the important thing is that we need to understand that we don't like to be sold or be pushed. We want to make a step by our own foot. And the one you have decided, made a decision to pick up, because of that is your own thought, you will definitely pursue that. Even if there are barrier challenges. You have experienced these kind of things probably. So you have made a decision to purchase something big. You may have a kind of long time thinking about that. Once you have made a decision and you decided, but there are some challenge happen and barrier occurred. But because you made a decision, you have kind of worked hard to overcome that, and finally you were able to get that. You had an experience like this, I believe so. So if that is your own decision, you will kind of somehow make it happen. But last thing is this. Because you don't push, this is about your dream. So you don't sell your dream, you don't sell your goal. I'm talking the whole story about how to gain support. So the backstory is that I have this goal, and I actually want you to support me, but I'm not going to push you. I'm going to ask use some kind of way of communication, so that you want to start wanting to help me. So this takes time because you don't push. So actually you need to remind sometimes what you are aiming for. And over time, she decides that, okay, now it's time, maybe I should support him, her. And to explain this, I have created 7 powers. And it's all aligned with these things. And I'm kind of splitting them in 4 and 3. The first 4 is talking about how to gain support and trust, be trusted. And the next 3 is about really talking about your goal. So first one, it is aligned with step 1. Now you need to encounter, the power to encounter. Everything starts with the power to. The question is, who are you meeting? Are you meeting appropriate person? Number 2 is the power to connect. So this is another kind of a secret key. You need to be able to use this to kind of really open this narrow door, right? The power to connect. You connect people, and that is going to be a kind of a way to step in. I'm going to talk about this using this whiteboard. And you need to be trusted. How do you gain trust? You need to be authentic, genuine. You need to be true. So speak about your own thing. If you are truly believing in what you do, you'll be trusted. You don't need to have a big speech, speaking out a lot. People are looking at you. Number 4 is, I told you that this is a game changer, and this is going to be the kind of a topic for the discussion today. The power to be recommended. I told you that you need to be recommended, introduced to in that field. Not where you are, in the new field. So trust me, you have another page showing the same terminologies, and so just jot down the keyword that seems to be the key for you. And I'm moving to the next one. I have a table showing the same thing, so you can add the words. The 3 parts for having people resonate with the vision. You have a vision. It's your own vision. You want to gain support of other people, which means that many people are influenced and kind of love that goal, dream. Then they will help you. Number 1 is communicate. Simple, communicate. Of course, if you don't talk about your goal, nobody will listen to. But think about this. Whether it is wise to suddenly kind of speaking out to somebody or using any kind of a social network service to suddenly speaking about your dream or goal. Sometimes it's kind of not the best way to go, and we need to think about that. And I told you, you need to plant your idea. Plant your idea into other people. If you plant, it grows. But it takes time. You know, my son was kind of raising a sunflower the kind of past 1 month because it's summertime and the school wanted to do that. He's 7 years old. He didn't know the seed in, but it doesn't come out, and he was worried about that for weeks. He was trying to open, but we stopped that. You know, that happens. You know, because if that is the first time, now we know that it takes time. But if it's about us or other people, I don't know why we rush. We tend to rush. And of course, we need to nurture. We need to give the water and sun and also kind of some ingredients and things like that. It takes time, which means you need to remind. Reminding means a different approach, of course. You can do with this various things. I'm going to show the table after this one. And there are 7 key questions. And I know there are too many languages, but please put these all in. Who are you meeting? Are you meeting the appropriate person? Number 1. Are you meeting those people that you need to associate when you are already in the goal world? When you're already in the goal world. I have a kind of, as I told you, I am a CEO coach. So basically, I'm coaching the CEOs or the executives in the corporation, but at the same time, I kind of work with some kind of artists and athletes. So I have a football player, my clients. He is a professional, but he is at a top level, but not a super top level. Like this is an example. I'm kind of a bit kind of adjusting, but think about this. What I talk to him is that, okay, practice hard. That's important. Work out hard. But what I can tell is that why don't you associate with the real kind of superstars? If you have a chance, go out to dinner with them. If you have a chance, you kind of question them. If you have a chance, you kind of watch their training and be part of that. if you have a chance, you don't need to stick to that arena. You can go to a different field. Not only the football, you can learn from the tennis player, golf player, or you can learn from a business guy. Go out and see who are doing more than you. Okay, how are you connecting people? Maybe I need to take some time to explain this because this is some powerful. And switching to the whiteboard, so I need the camera to follow me. So it's like this. Are you able to see this? Okay, seems to be okay. So you are here. You are here. And as always, there is a comfort zone that you want to be part of. Right? And there are always the people in there. Is it visible? Okay. Seems to be okay. There are always people here. And you are here. You get to know this guy or lady for some reason. Just met in the party, or you just helped him carry his bag or her bag or anything. You helped him. She dropped the wallet, and you supported, worked him in the station. Anything like that. You got to know him. You wanted, but you are living in this comfort zone. You want to shift there. You want to move into there. So now you have a certain connection. So you want to be part of this. You want to step into this. You want to get close to here. And as I mentioned, that if you successfully move to there, eventually you are part of this. But you could use this kind of a relationship as a kind of a trigger. So you want to connect with her more, but you don't have such kind of a things that you can provide her. You can't kind of support her. If you are kind of help her, you'll kind of be invited. And remember this: the comfort zone is made of people. So what is the most important kind of asset in the comfort zone for us is the people. So if you have a nice person, who you think really nice, you wanna keep, be a good friend, you already have a connection here. So what we can do is to, of course, this is conditional that is both beneficial for both of them. If you connect these people, it has to be beneficial for them. It's not for you. You're not going to introduce your friend just for your sake. But if you really feel that this is helpful for her and him, now you connect these people, and now you create the triangle, which means that the ground kind of becomes solider than before because you have a more connection there. If she likes them. Of course, this person is not just your friend, but some people that you may admire. So you could talk to her that I have a great friend who is elder than I, and I really kind of admire him, and I would like to introduce him. Maybe that's going to be a help for you or both of you, and if you are okay with that, these people know that the comfort zone is made of people. And if you are sincere, if you feel that that sounds nice, she would like to meet, or in this condition, it could be over Zoom, right? That's number one. Of course, there are other friends. Yeah, you can do the same thing. You can do the same thing, right? You connect them. Yeah, it's not just for you. It has to be for them. It has to be beneficial for everybody. But now you kind of feel that you are more connected to the closer, because those people are the people maybe in this or the closer to that area. So you could use this kind of mechanism to gradually step into, get close to the areas that you want. The more you, it's not just that, the more you kind of associate with them, you will start to acquire the elements that needs to be a kind of you have. And they would say, thank you, Kazu, for introducing a nice person. Thank you, Kazu, for giving an opportunity to spend time with that. So shall we have have more fun time together, or can you discuss about an opportunity for doing business together, and things like that? Okay, this is how about number two. How are you connecting people? So we could use this idea to get close to there. I'm gonna use this whiteboard chart figure again. And how do you gain trust? Now you are closer to the comfort zone, the comfort that you are desiring to be part of that. And you need to be authentic. So what I mean by that is that you need to be true about yourself, what you are doing. If you are confident with what you are doing, they start trusting you. Believe the beliefs that you have in yourself. If you have a higher self-efficacy, trust yourself that you can achieve your goal, they start to trust you. And number four is another key. What is needed to be introduced? Okay, can I go back to the whiteboard again? Okay, now we are sort of here. And because we have kind of of course, not just this, but you worked hard. You have accumulated kind of the track record. You've done a lot. And then you get close to there. But of course, there are, as I mentioned, there are many other people in this comfort zones, like you know. So you want her to start introducing you to her friends. How do we do that? We need something that expresses you, explains you. I call it a tag. Tag. You need a tag. We spend some time to think about what your tag is. Now we're communicating. So now you're part of the getting close to the comfort zone. And you can use your unconscious to communicate. Unconscious. So what you speak from your mouth is not so important. It plays a certain role, but what's more important is your unconscious. So which means that you are fully committed, fully confirmed with what you are doing. That relates to the next part, cause. Then you will be able to communicate. And you plant that idea. Plant that idea. You don't push that. You explain that with your unconscious, adding some words. Not much words. You will speak. Your unconscious will speak. Of course, under this Zoom environment, it's becoming a little bit difficult to use the unconscious. But still, yet over the camera, through the camera, we can see whether that person is trustable or not. The last one is reminding. All right, so I know these are not so very easy to see. Then I have some charts here. You're gonna receive this later on. 7 steps and 7 powers. So on the left side, I have 7 steps written, exactly the same one on the previous slide. On the right, in the middle center side, I have a 7 powers, and the right side. So first and second half means that it's divided into 4 and 3. So you'll be able to see this later on. And to add some questions, the left side is same. The red one on the key questions are important. Who are you meeting? How you're connecting people and stuff, which I've explained. So the question is always to this one. You will connect at outside of the comfort zone. You start connecting people at outside of your comfort zone where you're going to. Right? And I want to go into the breakout, so I'm switching to the next one. Still, there are a lot of questions. Maybe I have talked about this, so I'm going one by one. Meet people at the goal world. You need to meet people at the goal world. And you need to connect people towards the goal world, which I have explained. You need to connect people towards the goal world. And by strengthening your confidence, which means that elevate your self-efficacy, you'll be able to gain trust with other people. Think about the person who you trust. Those people are kind of firmly made with their own confidence or own things that they want to do. And number 4, this is the exercise that we're going to do, is to create a tag that represents you. And the key thing is that it should be ideal, which means that when we talk about our tag means a simple word or sentence that explains you. Like me, it's a CEO coach. When you hear the word CEO coach or CEO coaching, it sounds that even if you don't know, you will understand that, okay, this guy says that at least he's kind of insisting that he is coaching the CEOs, and he is at least insisting that he is capable of doing that, and such kind of things. And it should be ideal. Ideal means that a little bit higher than current you. Now CEO coach is part of me, of course, but kind of 6-7 years ago when I started, I had a client of CEOs, but that was not 100%, only 3 or 4 out of my kind of clients. But I started saying that. Then what happened is that, of course, my skill grew, but at the same time, the people started lining in front of me. When I started using the tag, I was not kind of over speaking, but I was kind of talking about my future myself, and that became a real. So I have another tag now. Number 4 is use your unconscious. Number 5. Number 5 is your unconscious. And number 6 is help others build their own conclusion. As I mentioned, don't push. Let them decide on their own. And last one is let others remember. You don't force them to remember, just let them take time and make their own decision. So now it's already close to an hour, and I would like you to think about this one. Think about your tab. How do you want to be recommended? This is very important. And after that, I'm going to break this into, and I want you to explain, start explaining. So definitely this requires 3-4 minutes for you at least work. How do you want to be recommended? I'm not talking about how are you recommended now. That's a starting point. It's okay, but how do you want to be recommended? And try to find out a simple word or a simple sentence. Okay, let's work on that on the paper. I give you one tip. We often start with how we are recommended now, but that approach may be a barrier for you. Forget about how you are called. Just envision. Talk big, think big. There's no risk now. Nobody laughs at you. Because actually we don't know each other that much. Just be open, a little bit aggressive. So I'll give you 1 more minute. And after that, we break in. Even if you're uncompleted, when you're speaking, you may have encountered some idea. Yeah, so we don't use this mechanism for selfish approach, selfish intention. That is not the idea. But successful people are doing these kind of things. Okay, we got 3-4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So I'm not sure whether you completed, but I'm going to break this in so that you can start presenting your own tag. I know this may be the first time. It could be challenging. I'm going to break that in the same room so that you can start speaking without introducing yourself. Okay. Now I'm going to show the slide. Can you show the slide? New one. It's a discussion. Speak about your tag. Speak about your tag. I try to take relatively longer time so that you can speak each about your tag, like 5 minutes. Okay. Now we are back.
Yeah, I'm back. We're all back.
So I know the time was short, but I want you to break again and then after that I take a 5 minutes bio break. So we spend 5 more minutes for next topic. It's about this one. How you are building your network. So the whole thing was about the network, and tag is of course part of that, and you are using that. But currently what you are doing and what you are aiming to do. So I've told you, kind of informed you how to do it. That's one tip, and maybe you are doing something you want to combine those things what you are doing now. And we do this for 5 minutes, and then after when you come back, we take a 5 minutes bio break, and then for the last 45 minutes I spend for the last topic and try to cover the autonomy a little bit. Okay? So please then break again and speak about how you are building your network. Of course, talk about the tag if you need to.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. To be back. And so maybe you have some questions that you want to speak, but let's take a break for a while. And when you come back, I try to address them if you have. And if you don't have, I'm going to move forward. So let's take 5 minutes break. And I don't know what my computer or smartphone showed it's 42, which means that now let's be precise about the time in 43, it being 48 at whatever time. So 5 minutes break. And in the meantime, please, you can mute your screen so that it shows that you are off. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
5 minutes.